Watching American Outlaws, only on LearnSome. At the turn of the 20th century, Italian immigrants poured into America. They came chasing opportunity, but what many found was extortion. A shadowy wave of crime swept through cities like New York and Chicago. Victims would receive crude, anonymous letters, a scrawl of threats, and on the bottom, that unmistakable signature, a black handprint. The message was simple: pay up or else. These weren't idle warnings. If you ignored the letter, your shop's windows would be blown out, the storefront reduced to splinters, your kids would vanish from the street, your family murdered. But the Black Hand wasn't one big organization. It was a tactic, an extortion technique used by criminals of all kinds. The most feared, however, were the ruthless Italian gangsters who used that fear like a business model. And leading one of the most brutal of these crime rings in New York was a man named Giuseppe Morello, nicknamed the Clutch Hand for his deformed right arm. His enforcer, Ignazio Saietta, better known as Lupo the Wolf, a man so violent, even other gangsters were terrified of him. Their methods were primitive but effective. Letters were drawn by hand, demands were made in broken English, and if you didn't comply, violence followed fast. But here's the twist. The Black Hand thrived on silence. Victims rarely went to the police, either out of fear or because the cops were on the take. Even legendary tenor Enrico Caruso, one of the world's first celebrities, got a Black Hand letter. They demanded $2,000 or they'd slash his throat. So naturally, he paid their ransom twice. By 1908, the Black Hand had spread across America. Any city with an Italian population had these shadow threats, like ghosts in the mail. The police were clueless. The press whipped up a panic. But behind the chaos, something bigger was brewing. In 1909, a former Pinkerton detective named Joseph Petrosino, one of the only Italian-American cops in New York, launched a campaign to wipe them out. He arrested dozens, deported criminals back to Sicily, and became a national hero. So the Black Hand did what they always did. They sent a message. While investigating mafia ties in Palermo, Petrosino was ambushed and assassinated. That murder, that was the turning point. Public sympathy shifted. Law enforcement finally started taking Italian crime seriously, and the seeds of the modern mafia began to sprout. This time, they were much more organized. By the 1920s, Prohibition would pour gasoline on the fire. With new money from alcohol trafficking, criminals stopped scrawling threats by hand and started forming more sophisticated crime families. The name the Black Hand faded from history, but its legacy lives on. Without it, there is no American Mafia. Before La Cosa Nostra, before the Five Families, before the Mafia became a system, there was the Black Hand, and it ran on fear. What do you think was the most shocking part of this story? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to keep diving through more stories of your favorite American outlaws, hit that subscribe button and click here for our full playlist of American Mafia. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned some.